All or Nothing, featuring Koenigsegg Jesko, Stage 2. Here we go. Running on empty. Now, the track or the circuit for Stage 2 is going to be Red Bull Ring here in Austria. And let's see. Still early in the stage, so shouldn't be giving you too much trouble, these goals, 4 of which we got to complete. And for the first one, looks like we're going to be using Honda S2000 GT. And on this account that I'm using to make this video, I don't own this car, so and also I don't have any upgrades on this car, so this is about as baseline effort as it gets. We just need to make sure we don't get overtaken amongst the grid full of hypercars. So yeah, as you can see, we do get the distance marker from the guy that we have to stay in front of, who is going to be Chip. So that's nice to know. Although by the time, if you notice, you know, the distance from Chip behind us, that might mean you are getting too close. So anyway, so it's like a 1.5 lap that we gotta do. So as long as you don't make any major mistakes, I don't think this challenge is gonna be all that difficult for most of you guys. And obviously, if you have more upgrades on this car than I do, then it'll be even easier. But for some reason, if you're struggling with this one, you can always put more upgrades on. If you're, if you don't own the car, you can still put upgrades on. You just have to kind of wait while those racing dollar upgrades kick in. But yeah, so there's no chance you're gonna be able to overtake anybody in this challenge, not with the S2000 GT in the grid full of hypercars, as I said. If you can, if you don't get overtaken, that is enough, right? And in fact, that's the goal here. So a bit of driving pedagogy going on in this first goal of stage 2. A bit slower, a little bit easier to practice and learn your line. Although braking point for Jesko is going to be quite different. And there he is, Chip. Now we got the distance marker showing up. So, yep. Nice and easy. Not too bad. But as I said, that's about as baseline attempt as it's gonna get. So 2 minutes 20 seconds and change for that lap and a half. That's some 240 fame points. All right, so let's see what other cars. Chiron Sport, Venom GT, and more Bugattis and Hennessy's, mostly Agera RS, and then there's me, and Hennessy Venom GT was the one Chip was racing to chase after me. Anyway, if you want, I suppose you could put the car in for service because you won't be using this car again, but that's okay. I don't even own this car in my garage on this account, so all right, goal 1 down, continuing on. All right, so show some respect. Well, I mean, time and place. And yeah, when you are mixed in with the hypercars, you really you're kind of out of place, aren't you? Anyway, moving on to goal 2. And this one, we are going to be back in Jesko, of course, sporting the Tier 1 racing dollar upgrades, PR 88.2, still above the recommended PR. And for this double lap cup at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix, we just need to win. Pretty straightforward. No other conditions. They don't care if you smash into every car in the grid, although that's not recommended. Anyway, here we go. Alright, so these hypercars take forever to brake, right? The brakes are always seemed softer because of the fact that their top speed is so ridiculously high. Anyway, we'll overtake some Agueras. The front of the grid, we got some Chilon Sports, Bugatti. 2 laps, so you don't have to overdo it. Just kind of pace yourself. Hennessy's to overtake. Stay on track. Chasing down Grimes, who is the leader. What's he in? Looks like a Venom GT. Hard to tell. It's all black, that's all we know. Anyway, once you're in the lead, the race always becomes a bit easier since you get to dictate your line and everybody else has to kind of follow suit. Although, that's what I mean. The braking for this car, you kind of have to learn earlier braking points than most cars that you would use to race on the tracks and feature in the game. So the downside of having extremely high top speed, right? So still skidding through some of those corners that come at the end of longer straights. I go that's relatively clean, if I may say so myself. And we are going to wrap it up with the final corner and through the finish line. But yeah, gonna try to win by minimal margin so we don't end up with some impossible bots later on if yeah, that ends up playing a role, right? Anyway, pick up some 900 fame points for those 2 laps, 2 minutes 24 seconds and change. Alright, so 2 goals down. Let's see. And yeah, Venom GT, I thought so. Anyway, that takes out slightly over half of service bars. Alright, so we gotta survive. Can we finish the stage without servicing? Alright, so okay. Pulled a quick one, I know. And now, moving on to goal 3. We have to win by 109 yards or 100 meters. And now, no damaging and no off-track or running your opponent off-track, so you cannot really pit chip either. So it's going to be a 2-lap head-to-head. And right. And here we go. Head-to-head rarely gives us difficulty. Exit is always very important to heading into these longer straights. As you can see, as long as you don't mess it up, take early lead, and then yeah, just keep the pace. Make sure you don't go off track. Brake early, right? There we go. Getting a little bit better handle here at Red Bull Ring with Jesko, the brand new car that we're racing. And a little wider than ideal, but that's alright. Still maintaining the lead. That's the important thing. Closing the inside, a little biscuit there. And alright, that's a little too much speed through the corner. It's the apex. But once again, the important thing is we're still in the lead. And not bad. Right. So since grid is loaded with, well, in this case there's only one other car, but generally speaking, the other cars in this event that's racing against Jesko are all kind of similar characteristic. They all have very high fat top speed, but with the softer brakes, or brakes that cannot quite compete with the top speed, the power, the raw power of these cars, and the grip isn't the greatest, so you just have to make sure you brake and tame that speed, tame the power for the car to be able to make these corners without completely losing control. Anyway, there we go. Just make sure you win by that 100-meter gap, since when I ran through this race on my other account, I forgot about that condition, and I was just preoccupied with minimizing the victory gap, or the margin of victory. So I was like finishing super close, and then only to realize, like, oh yeah, you're supposed to win by a particular kind of distance, right? So so don't be like me in that sense. All right, so just enough service bars left to complete the stage, it looks like, without needing to service the car, so that's always nice. Just barely, but hey, at least the car is not in critical condition. Even if it's slightly in critical condition, I feel like the car's not affected as, performance isn't hampered all that bad, so should be able to be competitive. But anywho, now Chip is gonna bring out the big guns. Valkyrie. Right. What a car. That is a beauty. Anyway, no time to admire. We got a race to win once again. 2 laps. No off track, no damaging, certainly no pitting of Chip. Now, Valkyrie is wonderfully well balanced car, but compared to the likes of Jesko, yes, the top speed isn't going to be there. So the straights is where we gotta take advantage of by making sure that we don't, mess up the curve cornering, so don't compromise the top speed, which is the main weapon of Jesko against Valkyrie. But once again, once you're in the lead, you can steadily build the lead to kind of buffer yourself, give yourself some buffer in case you are not quite 100% confident about the handling of this new car. I mean, always with the new cars, right, when you first drive, it's a bit of a hit and miss. So early stages, while the goals are not as difficult, you do want to test the car's limit on what it can do, what it cannot do, how hard it can push. So yeah, early stages of these kind of events, those are kind of your testing ground or test drive stage. And then once you get to the later stages, I'm expecting a bit more challenge. Now, the last couple of special events that we had, we were able to win those cars featured there, like the Bolide, I think, was essentially a gold-free car. We were able to, at least I was able to win the car through the special event without investing any gold upgrades. And I want to say, was Valkyrie like that too? Speaking of Valkyrie, I think so. So there, those are some really, really nice cars that if you play your cards right, you can win without investing much of those in-game currency into. So anyway, that will do it for the final goal of stage 2, winning over Valkyrie, driven by Chip. Alright, 2 laps and some 900 fame points. So you don't really expect you're gonna get a whole lot of payout from these events in terms of racing dollars or fame points. Make sure you put the car in for service, since we gotta wait till tomorrow for the next stage to unlock, so might as well use that time for good use, right? Stage 2 complete. For rewards, we get 975 victory points, 10 gold, 20,000 racing dollars. Alright, and that's 975 victory points will get me to the next victory point reward tier, which was the motorsport dollars, right? Anyway, so that will do it for stage 2. We'll continue on to stage 3 tomorrow, so stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Take care.